So I've never played very many war games before, mostly due to the massive financial barrier to entry. But recently I got Star Wars Shatterpoint, and that game comes with enough miniatures and terrain to be able to field 2 players, which is great, which means I don't have to go out and buy 2 armies worth of miniatures. So I thought I'd give it a try. I got a hold of my friend Max, and we decided to play our first game. Very quickly, the objective of the game is to take this struggle tracker and score points to move it closer to your side. Think like tug of war. You score points by moving your squads into position to capture these yellow command points. Whoever has the most miniatures on the point controls it. Your character has various abilities and combat actions they can perform to control the board. Combat is mostly done through rolling attack dice and defense dice. As a real quick note on the video, we get several rules throughout the game wrong. Most notably, we get the scoring method wrong at the end of each round, but after going back and retallying the score, the result still comes out the same, oddly enough. So, please enjoy this chaotic game of Shatterpoint. I will be taking on the role of the blue player, and my 2 squads will be consisting of Anakin Skywalker, Captain Rex, and the 501st clones in the first squad. In the second, I have Ahsoka Tano, Bo-Katan, and the Clan Kryze Mandalorians. Max will be taking on the role of the red player, and his squads will be consisting of Maul, Gar Saxon, and the Super Commandos in Squad 1. In Squad 2, he has Asajj Ventress, Kalani, and the B-1 battle droids. With the squads decided, we draw our first mission card to determine which points we can capture. And with the board set, we begin round 1. I'm up first, and the first character I draw is Bo-Katan. Bo-Katan has a great ability that activates at the start of her turn called Pride of the Mandalorian, which allows another Mandalorian character to use their jetpack and move. I move another Mandalorian character up just enough to control the point closest to me. Bo-Katan now makes her move, and her other ability activates. Mandalore will survive, which allows her to take a focus action and a short move when a nearby Mandalorian character makes a move, which has just happened. She will short move right up this ladder, capturing another point. So far, I'm really enjoying all the ways in which all these characters are working together. It makes me really excited to make a list of my own. Max is next, and his first draw is the tactical droid Kalani. His ability, Roger Roger, allows both of the battle droids next to him to make a short move.
Roger, Roger.
They move up and capture the point, followed by Kalani making a move as well. Next up for me is the 501st Clone Troopers. There isn't much that I see that I can do here, as the point closest to me is inactive. So, I decide that I'm going to move my clones as far down the board as I possibly can to try and reach the nearest objective before the enemy does. It's Max's turn, and he draws his Shatterpoint card. He decides to activate Maul and sprints down the board. This card can be a total game changer. Basically, it's a wild card that allows you to activate any character on your side that you want, even ones that have already had a turn. Thankfully, drawing this early is better for me, as we're not quite in attacking range of each other yet. He ends his turn there, which is good for me. Probably will be a while before we see another one of those. Huh, what are the odds? I activate Anakin and likewise have him rush towards the nearest objective. He's not close enough, but Anakin has a force jump ability. At the cost of 1 force point, I can make another short move with Anakin, which allows me to capture the point. We also realized that we forgot to score points for the past couple rounds, so we just agreed to start scoring from here. There's a lot to keep track of, okay? We're trying our best. I currently control 3 points, and Max controls 1, which means I move the struggle token closer to my side by 2, while he gains a momentum token. Remember, the struggle token needs to occupy the same space as one of my momentum tokens to win the round. Think of it as kind of like a game of tug-of-war. Max draws his B1 battle droids, he moves them into position, and we engage in our first round of combat. The droids take aim and fire their blasters at Anakin Skywalker. Max rolls 7 dice to attack, and Anakin rolls 5 in defense. I don't roll so well, and the B1s get 4 successes, which allows them to move 4 spaces down their combat tree. This, in total, dealing 5 points of damage, giving him an exposed token, and pushing him back off the objective. Anakin, however, does have an ability just for this occasion, Deflect, which allows him to deal 2 points of damage back to the droids, if at least one of their rolls were a fail, which there was. Because there are 2 of them, they get to make another attack on Anakin. The droids make their attack roll. Anakin makes his defense roll. The droids are able to get 2 more successes. Anakin takes 2 points of damage. He is able to deflect again and deal 2 more damage back to the droids. But the droids are able to move forward and capture the point. Concluding Max's turn now, we both control 2 points. The struggle token does not move, but because it's on my side of the center point, he will gain 1 momentum token. It's my go again, and I draw Captain Rex. Rex's ability, Get a Move On Soldier, allows me to short move Anakin forward, ready to engage the droids in melee combat. Rex also moves up to join the fray and takes a shot at the battle droids. I roll well enough to go all the way down Rex's combat tree. I deal 7 points of damage, bringing the droid's health to 0 and putting them in the wounded state. Rex also pushes the droids back and advances himself. Now I own the point. In this state, they cannot capture points until they activate again. Characters in this game have more than 1 life, if you will, so the droids are not dead yet, but if their health gets reduced to 0 again, they will be. At the end of this turn, I score 2 more points, and Max gets a momentum. See, at this point, I'm feeling like I've got this game in the bag. Charging forward with reckless abandon seems to have been the right play, right? It's Max's go, and he draws Asajj Ventress, and immediately moves her forward and uses her Dathmerian Dexterity ability to move her even further down the board. With Asajj's 2 actions used, that's the end of the turn. And I forgot to score points here again. Whoops. But it doesn't matter because I'm drawing Anakin Skywalker. I can't lose. Seeing that this point is well under control by Rex in the 501st, Anakin anticipates Asajj's move to capture the center point. Anakin moves and force jumps up the building to capture the point. I score 3 points at the end of this turn, and Max gains another momentum. I should have won the round at this point, but let's just overlook that detail, shall we? Okay. Max draws his Mando Super Commandos, and he's able to move them far enough down the board with their jetpacks to contest the point controlled by Bo-Katan. With the point contested, neither of us can score from it. Whoever has the most characters on the point controls it. However, at the end of the turn, I score enough to take the round. This is where things start to get a little dicey, as my tower of blue objective points I hold start crumbling down. At the start of round 2, we draw the next mission card, which shakes up all the points on the board. The previous points become deactivated, and the new ones become activated, but with a twist this time. Where there were 5 points available to score from, now there are only 3, plus the introduction of the priority marker. This marker gets randomly assigned to a point at the start of each turn, and makes that point worth 2 instead of 1. Kalani maintains his control over his command point, and Bo-Katan and the Super Commandos continue to contest their spot. Annoyingly, the last remaining point on the board is right next to my clones, but just out of reach. I guess charging forward with reckless abandon has come to bite me, as it will be some time before I can hope to activate my clones again. And of course, it's the first priority point. First up for me is the Clan Kreese Mandalorians, and I just have to be honest, I totally pull an illegal move here. I move them forward, and their ability, Mandalorians Are Stronger Together, activates, giving them a free focus action. Then, spending one of Ahsoka's force points, they activate their jetpacks, and both move on to the gantry. This is where my turn should have ended. Hey, look, we're learning how to play, okay? I'm sorry. So, I make an illegal third action and attack his Super Commandos. First attack is a melee attack, rolling 5 dice. Hopefully, it'll be a bad roll? Well, they're pinned, shoved, disarmed, and they take 3 damage. Oh boy. Now for a second ranged attack. Which results in 3 more damage. Oh, also, I may have gained control over the point. Whoops, sorry, Max. No points are scored at the end of this round. Max now activates Gar Saxon. His ability, Pride of Mandalore, allows the Super Commandos to make a jump. However, because they're pinned, this just allows them to remove their pin. Gar Saxon moves forward and fires on the Clan Kreese Mandalorians. The Clan Kreese are pushed off the gantry, and Gar is able to move further forward. Max scores 1 point. I gain 1 momentum. Next is Ahsoka Tano. This is Ahsoka's first activation, so she's got some catching up to do. She moves forward, and then, using her force speed, moves again further down the board. She's making a mad dash straight for Maul before he can get a chance to try and steal the point. But it's too little too late as Max draws Maul and makes his way right up the ladder to contest the point. Lightsaber at the ready, he makes a strike on Bo-Katan. If it wasn't for Bo-Katan's Beskar armor, she would be in a lot more trouble. She takes 3 damage in total and is shoved off the point. At the end of the turn, Max scores 2 points and I gain a momentum. Both of us have drawn our last cards, so we reshuffle and refresh our force points. Anakin Skywalker is next up. Seeing what's just happened to Bo-Katan, Anakin heads straight for Maul. It's Anakin versus Maul, the fight we've all been waiting for. Anakin, ready to save the day, rolls poorly. Maul's defense holds strong, only allowing Anakin 1 success, which deals 3 damage to Maul. But Anakin isn't done. Spending 2 force points, Anakin activates his ability, I'm going to end this, which allows him to make a second attack on Maul. Maul's defense is still holding, but the few successes Anakin gets still allows him to deal 5 points of damage to Maul. Oh, I'd hate to be on the receiving end if Anakin is ever allowed to go all the way down his combat tree. Ending the turn, Max gains 1 point and I gain 1 momentum. Kalani just seems to be enjoying his little vacation. The Super Commandos are next. The first commando moves into melee range of the Clan Kreese Mandalorian. The second commando hugs the corner to be able to safely shoot his blaster at Ahsoka. Since they made a move action, Mandalorians are stronger together activates, giving them a free focus action. This allows them to roll 1 extra dice. The commando makes his attack. Ahsoka defends. Ahsoka is able to deflect and deal 2 damage to the commando. Ahsoka's defense is insane and is able to convert enough dice to allow her to jump as well. She takes that jump to position herself in melee of the commando. The other commando makes her attack. The Clan Kree's Mandalorian defends. He takes 3 damage and gets strained. There's no way that this one single token is going to become my biggest problem. End of the turn, Max scores 1, and I gain another momentum. Things are not looking great for me right now. Ahsoka, not ready to take a breather, activates again. She immediately makes an attack of the commando. Only 1 success goes through to deal 2 damage. However, it's just enough to put the commandos in the wounded state. Ending the turn, no points are scored. Max gets his Shatterpoint card and activates Kalani? Well, that's not what I was expecting, but let's see what he's cooking. Kalani's Roger Roger activates at the start of the turn, allowing the B1 battle droids to reposition.
Don't even think about
Kalani then activates his Tactical Network, allowing the B1s to make a 5 dice attack on Rex.
Blast him.
Rex takes 4 damage and gains an exposed token. The droids also get to reposition again, allowing them to capture the command point.
Charge.
But Kalani isn't done yet. Kalani himself is going to make an attack on Rex. Rex takes 4 damage, shoved, and Kalani gets to activate another ability. The action economy on this guy, wow. Because of that exposed token, Rex is not able to convert an expertise dice to be able to defend. However, there isn't much Kalani can do now as he doesn't want to leave the point, so Max decides to end his turn there. Max scores 2 points and has nearly taken the round. Okay, let's see if I screw up these Mandalorian interactions again. Bo-Katan's Pride of the Mandalore activates, allowing another Mandalorian to jump onto the gantry. Bo-Katan then moves back up the ladder. Now, technically, I do screw up here because the strain token should have activated, but I totally misunderstood how strained worked. But just wait, because the misunderstanding I had is not in my favor. After Bo-Katan finishes her move, Mandalorians Are Stronger Together activates, allowing her to focus, and because of the focus action, Mandalore Will Survive activates and heals her for 2 points. Bo decides to return the favor and makes a melee attack on Maul. I bet she wishes she had the Darksaber right about now. Maul's defense only allows Bo to get 1 success, but still deals 2 damage to Maul. I take control of the point, and because this point is the priority, I'm able to prevent Max from taking the round for now. At the end of the round, I gain 1 momentum. Max draws the B1 battle droids and decides to place them in reserve. Anytime we draw, we can choose to spend a force token to put them to the side to use them on a later turn, and then we can draw again. The B1s, however, have the ability, well, I guess I'm in charge now,
All right, cut the
which
chatter.
instead places them at the bottom of their deck. Max redraws and Maul is activated. An insane ability Maul has is Sustained by Rage. This means that for every 3 damage Maul has, he gets to add a die to his attack roll. In this case, it's 2 additional die. Got a bad feeling about this. Maul's rage is focused squarely on Anakin. He makes a focus action to add yet another die to his attack roll. He makes the attack, rolling a total of 9 dice towards Anakin. Maul gets 5 successes on this roll and is able to deal a massive 10 points of damage to Anakin, giving him a pin token and putting him in the wounded state. Max's turn comes to an end, and with that, he wins the round. Things are really heating up here. With as easily as I won the first round, I thought this would be an easy game, but boy was I wrong. Anakin getting wounded is a huge blow, and with Maul able to deal that much damage in a single strike, Anakin may not be long for this world. I've got a long way to climb if I'm to come out on top. Thankfully, I get to pick the next board state from the final mission card. I decide to activate the 3 command points in the middle of the board. The previous points become deactivated and the new ones activate. Maul and Bo-Katan still contest their command points. The Clan Kree's Mandalorian claims the point he's on, and Rex claims the point next to him. We roll for first priority, and it's the middle point. First up on my side is the clone troopers of the 501st. They move in to secure the point and make a ranged attack on the B1s. The clones only get 1 success. They don't deal any damage on this attack, but they leave the droids pinned.
Don't even think about it.
Clones make their second attack. And they roll far better this time around. The droids take 5 damage and a strain token. At the end of the turn, I score 3 points. This is where the fun begins. Max debates keeping Kalani, seeing as how he's the entire board away from the B1s, but seeing Rex's health, decides to risk the attack. Kalani lines up the shot and fires at Rex. Kalani gets 6 successes, wounding Rex. Rex is shoved twice and disarmed. He also moves up to cover, ready to take on the clones. If he can get one of those clones off the point, he'll be able to contest it. I score 3 more points. Oh, this is gonna be easy. And here is where my ignorance comes to bite me. Remember earlier how I said I misunderstood how strained worked? Yeah, so I thought that the token triggers when you activate the unit. Here is where I pay the price for my extra third action from earlier, and I only have myself to blame. The Clan Kree's Mandalorians activate, and they immediately take enough damage from the strain to become wounded, meaning that I lose the middle point. And my turn ends immediately. Not entirely how that works, but what I thought at the time, and, well, in hindsight, does this make things right? I score 1 point, and Max gains a momentum. Gar Saxon is up, and he moves onto the gantry to claim the command point and make an attack on Bo-Katan. Bo's Beskar armor comes to the rescue again. Only 1 success, but that's still 2 damage. Ending his turn, Max scores 1 point and gains a momentum. Rex is up, and his wounded token flips to an injury token. If he takes enough damage again, he's done. Rex's Get a Move On Soldier allows the clones to get a hunker token. Rex focuses and blasts the B1s. With 3 successes, Rex deals 4 damage and the droids are destroyed. At the end of the turn, we both gain momentum tokens and Max scores a point. Asajj, who has just been chilling, finally gets to activate again. She makes her way down the gantry to capture the center point. And as a little insurance for later, Asajj force pushes Anakin off the gantry. Just can't catch a break claiming the high ground, eh? Max scores 2 points. The game is dead even. This is fine! This is fine. I need to really consider who I activate here, as this one choice could cost me the game. I decide to go with clan cheaters and move one to the furthest point to the right and the other to the middle point and contest it with Asajj. Max realizes at this point he probably should have pushed off Bo-Katan instead of Anakin, but I'm not complaining. The first Mandalorian makes a melee attack on Maul. Maul is able to defend against the attack and no successes are made. The second Mandalorian makes their attack on Asajj. And again, Asajj defends and there are no successes. At the end of the turn, both the middle and the right point are contested. I own the left point, which scores me 2 points from being the priority. Max reshuffles his deck and draws Kalani, which he chooses to put in reserve to redraw. He draws the Super Commandos, which means they can control points again. This is the worst thing that could have happened. The middle point now belongs to Max. Not only that, but the other commando jetpacks up onto the gantry, taking control back of that command point. Mandalorians Are Stronger Together activates, and he makes an attack on the Clan Kree's Mandalorian. That's 3 successes, which does 4 damage and a strain token. The second commando makes her attack. Which results in 2 successes that deals 3 more damage and ends the Clan Kree's Mandalorians. Cheaters never win, and winners never cheat. But as the Clan Kree's Mandalorians shuffle off this mortal coil, Ahsoka Tano's ability, Fierce Protector, activates. That's right, Ahsoka, who has waited in the shadows this whole game for her chance to strike, has finally come out to play. She leaps up the ladder and attacks the commandos. She deals enough damage to leave them wounded. The turn comes to an end, and Max scores 2 more points. Everything rides on this one last card draw. It's Ahsoka. It's all up to Ahsoka. She's cleared out the Mandalorians and engages with Maul in one final duel. And with that, Ahsoka deals enough damage to wound Maul, giving me a momentum token, flips the point to my control, and I score enough to take the round and the game. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, maybe subscribe? If you want to see more videos like this, also leave a comment down below. I'd love to make more. Cool. All right, well, thank you very much. Bye.